Hey everyone, welcome to the tutorial for how to actually do this value assignment. So what I'm doing now is I am lining my sketchbook using my yardstick. That was all I could find at that moment. And just doing three 8-inch long scales for my value scale. And I used pen with that. And then I did a mark at every inch. So that was easy for me because I just measured it by inch because you've got to have 8 squares for this. But you could also do 8 circles or 8 rough boxes. So this doesn't have to be perfect. You don't even have to use a ruler if you don't want to. I just wanted to use one to make it look nice, but this is really more just for your notes than anything else. I just did quick 1-inch boxes. Then I traced a small cup in my house. I made the sphere and the outline of that, and as well as the outline of the other object I was going to draw. And then I go in and I start shading using blending. So you're all going to do the blending first. You'll do that first box really nice and dark as you can go with your ebony drawing pencil, and then you'll go to the next box and try to make that look a little bit lighter. Now for me, I actually jump around a little bit. I try to make everything meet in the middle. So if that box is the darkest, then on the opposite end, you'll end up wanting to make the lightest box. So that's just leaving it blank. So you're trying to get from darkest to blank box. So I start toning it down a little bit as I go down my blending scale here. And right now I'm just layering my, so you notice I went one way and then the other. I go back, and so I go one way there. I use my eraser bit too. And then I'll go back over a different way just to sort of get everything filled in. And then I'm using my tortillon, which you also have in your bag. And then I start using the tortillon alone to draw with. I'm not even using the pencil. I just use what was left over on my tortillon from up there to do that. And then I use my tortillon again to color with. And then I realize, oh shoot, I went in and made stuff too dark. Now I've got to fix stuff. So that's okay. It takes time to get from one end to the other of the scale. So don't be too hard on yourself. And then I realize, okay, I've got to transition it now and how I'm going to get it to go there. And so I use my pencil in the last one, eraser and tortillon. Even it all out. It's really all about blending and layering. So that's what blending is about, layering. Using your tortillon, using your eraser a lot. So that may not be perfect, but that is my first value scale for you in blending. And I'm just going in and tightening up things a little bit just because I'm picky. You don't have to super nitpick on yours. All right, the next one I'm doing is cross hatching. I'm using my very tiny point pen. I'm actually not using a pencil. I'm using a pen. And so that one's my darkest one. Darken it up a bit. I had to stop because it ripped my page a little, but you can see I go pretty quickly with this. Cross hatching is really fun for me. And I've got to get it blended just right there. So there we go. A little bit lighter, going in and fixing it, and then just keep lightening it up. This one was a bit easier to go darkest to lightest the first time and not have to go back over it too much later. The last parts were the easiest parts because you barely have to touch it all in your pen. And there we go. There's another scale. And then I'm going to do some scribbles with my pencil for the last one. I'd say if I could give myself a piece of feedback, I'd probably go back and make the last 3 scribbles look a little bit more different from each other. But now I'm about to go in and do my sphere. So I'm going to go in and do the bottom first. And I'm going to do this cast shadow, pretty dark. I'm going to draw out where the darkest parts of the cast shadow are. Then I'm going to draw a circle of where the highlight is and begin to circle around, leaving a little spot at the bottom for reflected light. I start circling around my circle. Notice where I'm showing you that I'm drawing flat because I'm circling around the circle, drawing flat, slowly adding in more. And then I'm going to add my darkest part there. And now we're going into the midtones. So I'm actually not even going to use my pencil at all with the midtones. I'm going to use my tortillon to blend in the midtones. And then I'm going to make that circle on the top there, the highlights stand out a little bit more as I blend with my tortillon. Tortillon is very useful in blending. I'm going to just blend everything out there. And you see that nice reflected light on the bottom. I blend in my shadow a little bit more, and now this looks like a 3D object, 3D ball sitting on a table. I'm just gonna go in and clean up, and then I start the other one. Now the next one, I think I move it over for you eventually, but I'm gonna go in and add the darkest parts first on this one, and then I'm going to add the dark part of the cast shadow. There I go. And I'll add the dark parts and then fill everything in there. And then my cone shape, that side's really dark, the other side's not so dark, so I'm going to leave that light. Do my little reflected light on the bottom, and then on the top. And this is what you'll be completing for this part of the assignment.